In this next video, we're going to create our common file structure. This is super important because we need to organize all of our footage and prepare our project folders for working with Premiere Pro, but also keep all of our media and assets organized into one file. And this folder structure system is standard in the industry, and you'll easily be able to transfer all the media and assets in one file from different computers to anyone who needs to use it. And we also want to make sure that we're setting this all up on our SSD hard drive, which is going to be our external hard drive. We do not want to be setting this up on our internal hard drive on our computer. First thing we want to do is plug in our SSD and label it however you want so you know this is your editing drive. And now we're going to open it up. And if you can see here, these are all the projects I've been working on. Now, since we're at the very beginning here, and we might not have ever used a common file folder structure for editing, let's create one of those so that we can have a blank one. So every time we start a project, we can just copy and paste, and we'll always have the right organization we need for editing. This is just a template. You can name it what I have or your own naming convention. And then we're going to open this file up, and we're going to create these files as well. And they're all going to be blank. So take a moment and create each one of these. Some people in the industry will have more, some might have less, and you might not use all of these folders for every project, but it's good to have them because these are pretty basic. And within these files, I'm just going to drop down the ones that have another folder inside that you should create. So in project files, you should also add a scratch disk. Within footage, I recommend using interviews and B-roll as subfolders. Audio, a good subfolder is music, SFX, and sync. And there's nothing really in graphics, miscellaneous, exports, or scripts. Your final product for your video editing organization's folder structure should look like this. You can even pause this video if you still need more time to make these folders. But once you have these all made, I'm going to close them all up. And I'll go back to my main file. I'm going to control click, and I'll go down here and I will duplicate. So now that I've made my copy, I'll always leave this one blank, and I'll always just duplicate this one when I need to start a new project. So then when I open this one, all of my common folders and subfolders are ready for making this new project. So let's go back. Let's take our copy and let's actually name it for the project we're working on. We'll want to start with the date and the year is 2026. So I'll put 26 for 2026. And then the month, this is April, so I'll do 04. And then the day is the 30th. And then I'll do underscore. And then I'll just add the title of my project. Great. So now that we've made the project folder for this project, we're going to open up those subfolders. And now we're going to start organizing our footage and any media we have. You would take your SD card, which you've recorded your media on. And if you can see here, I have a folder representing the SD card. And these are my videos. Open up the footage subfolder. And if you have a lot of footage, this might be more difficult. But if you can, breaking down your footage into interviews and B-roll is going to be really helpful once you get into Premiere and want to have an organized folder system. So I'm going to take my video files and I'm going to try to separate them into the appropriate folder structure. So I've labeled these and yours might not be labeled. Some people might take the time doing that. It's not totally necessary as long as you know what's what. And I'm going to highlight everything that I know is B-roll. And I'll throw that into that folder. It doesn't look like it went into that folder. So I will just do this. There we go. Now everything's in that folder. And then I'll take my one interview and I'll put that into interviews. This can be a little tricky sometimes. Oh, I think it went in and we can just double check. And yeah, cool. So I've organized my footage. I don't have any audio, but if you did have audio, you would sort it into these files. Once we do that, we can export our SD card. And note, remember that this is all on the external hard drive. If I eject this, I will not have any projects left on my desktop or my internal hard drive. So now that we've gotten there, in the next video, we'll go over starting a Premiere Pro project.